Is being recorded.
Okay, so if anyone is looking in a Machzor and wants and prefers to do it in their Machzor, let's see, and this is the Lev Shalem. It's the only well, I haven't. That's the only Machzor I looked up. Ashamnu again. It's going to be on many pages, different parts, but I found it on page 264 last night when I was making some notes. So, so I'll just let you know that Ashamnu, a very short introduction. It's called the Vidui, the short confession. And then there's the Al Chet, which is much longer, that we're going to do next week. If we have time today, we might, but probably next week. It's a prayer recited just before Yom Kippur and repeated many times throughout the holiday. During the Vidui, worshipers gently beat themselves on the chest for each transgression listed. This action serves as a symbolic punishment from our heart, for our hearts, which are ultimately responsible for leading us to sins of greed, lust, and anger. The Vidui includes the Ashamnu, an alphabetical acrostic of different sins we have committed. It is said in the first person plural that new, as I've probably mentioned in past weeks, new is plural for us, because while each individual may not have committed these specific sins, as a community we surely have, and our fates are intertwined on this day. So by way of introduction and share screen, and no, that's not the one I want. Okay, everybody see that? Should I make it a little bit bigger? Is it big enough or should I make it bigger?
It's big.
Okay, I'll make it that's even
It's
bigger.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so again, please let me know if any of the other women come, because I don't need.
Barbara, it got smaller, not bigger. For
It
me,
got smaller, not bigger.
yes, it was fine as it was, and then it.
Is that, I just returned it to what it was. Is that better?
Yes,
Yes,
that's
that's
Perfect, yes.
Oh, good. Okay. So I'm just, so this has the translation right here, so we don't have to, concentrate on that today. Okay, so I'll just read the first four here and we'll ask Arlene to read. Okay, so Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu, Dofi, and He'evinu. He'evinu. Okay, Arlene.
Sure. Ashamnu, Bagadan, I say it in my head perfectly. And then when I get to open my mouth, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Deviranu, Defi.
Wait, what is this one?
Deviran. Dibarnu, Dofi. Ha'avinu.
Okay. Let's have Audrey, you want to read those four?
Sure. Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu, Dofi, He'evinu.
Okay.
That is a he, isn't it? There.
It's he. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so let's go on to the next four. Okay. And now we're going to have Iris and Marilyn. Okay. Vihir Shanu, Zadnu, Hamasnu, and Tafalnu Sheker. Okay, Iris.
Vihir Shanu, Zadnu, Hamasnu, Tafalnu, Sheker.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Marilyn, you want to do those four?
Yes. The Ashanu, Zadnu.
Vihir.
The Hirshanu, Zadnu, Hamasnu, Pafalnu, Sheker.
Okay, this first letter is a
Ta,
tet.
ta,
Tet, yeah, tafanu.
tafanu.
Okay, good. Let's do the next four. We might have time for alchet after this. Okay, let's see. Okay. Ya'atznu ra. Kizavnu. Latznu. Miradnu. And we'll stop here. Ni'atznu. Ni'atznu. Okay, Roberta.
Ya'atznu Kizavnu.
I can't hear her.
Yeah,
No?
you're very, very low. I don't know why.
Really? I don't know why. I'll try and fix it by the next
All right,
time.
that's a little better. Yeah.
Latznu, Maradnu, Niatznu.
Niatznu. Good. Okay, and Robin.
Ya'atznu ra, Kizavnu, Latznu, Maradnu, Niatznu.
Okay, good. And now we're up to Sirarnu, Avinu, Pashanu, and Sararnu. Okay. So Susan's not here, so Tamar.
Okay, Sararnu, Avinu, Hashanu, Sararnu.
Okay. And is this the last one? No, there's still more. Okay. So just making sure that nobody else came. I'm so paranoid. I don't know why. Who is this Zoom user? Who is this? Who is listed as Zoom user? I don't know. Is that Iris?
No, I don't know. Is
No?
my name there?
It's, oh, yeah, it just says Zoom user. Okay, it's Iris. Okay, you're in disguise. Okay, no problem.
That's my
Okay,
new name?
it says Zoom user. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. Arlene, you want to read these four again and we'll go on?
Sure. Sararnu, Avinu, Pashanu, Sararnu.
Okay. Now we'll,
Barbara,
yeah.
is this Aramaic or is this Hebrew? I don't recognize these words.
Oh, I don't know. I recognize parts of them, but if you don't
Well,
recognize,
new. I recognize the new at the end.
right. I mean, I see like things that like Rosh, for or
Right.
there are things in it that I recognize the roots, but that doesn't mean it's Hebrew. I don't know. You usually know
Okay.
better than I do if it's Hebrew
Right.
or not. I didn't notice that in the it didn't say that in the little, whatever I looked at, my Jewish learning, so I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Audrey, you want to read Kishanu Oref, Rashanu, Shichatnu, and Tiavnu. Audrey, do you not have your mic? Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Kishanu Orev, Rashanu, Shihatnu, Tiavnu.
Okay, good. And one more. Iris.
Kishanu, Oref, Rashanu, Shichatenu, Shichatnu, Tiavnu.
Okay. And let's see. Oh, so they have That's interesting. I thought it was from Aleph until Tav, but we've got,
Oh, it's alphabetical?
it's alphabetical.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, we Tet, Shin, Resh, Kuf, Tzadi, Pei. Yeah, but then at the end, they seem to add on. We've got three with the Tav and then a couple extras. Okay. So Ta'inu, Titanu, Sarnu, and Mi Mitzotecha. Mi Mitzotecha. And is that the last line? Can't.
No, there's a
I
lot more.
really wanted, what I really wanted just to go through that alphabetical list, but we
So I
can.
think Ashamnu ends with the 3 tavs.
Yeah, oh, here, because we've got
Right.
the double, I don't know what you call, I call it a colon, yeah, okay. A sof pasuk, yeah, okay,
Mhm.
you're right. So it's just ta, inu, and titanu. Okay,
Barbara,
Yeah.
excuse me, it's Robin.
Yeah.
I need to ask a vowel question.
yeah,
And I'm sorry, I don't know the names of the vowels, but the one that's 2 dots, one on top of another, that in this entire prayer has been silent.
mhm.
Sometimes I remembered from other prayers, sometimes you have to put a sound on it. How do you
Right.
know when?
So it's called a shva, and there's tremendous amount of literature about when to do it. What I rely on is in different sidurim, they tell you, they have markings that indicate it, and it's extremely helpful. Unfortunately, they did not, the Lev Shalem did not do that for the Machzor. So it's hard for me to tell you. The bottom line is I do not know the rule. I don't know how they decide it, but I can send you some very interesting information about it for you to read and see what you get out of it. You know,
I mean, I think I never noticed or thought about it before. So I've probably been in my head pronouncing words incorrectly.
Right. I don't even know if it's incorrectly or not. I'll send you these
Okay.
articles, and
Okay.
it's not a question of correct and incorrect. It's let me send you the articles rather than we keep repeating that I can't explain it as well as I'd like, but it's
No problem.
definitely
Thank you.
and
I
it's
think
something that they did not teach us when we were growing up and learning how to read Hebrew, and most
Yeah.
people that I've encountered are totally oblivious. So I'm glad that you're interested, because I'm very interested in it. But when I read Torah, I make sure I use a tikkun that tells me, there's often like a line over it that tells you, or in the Siddur version of the Lev Shalem, the shvas that you pronounce are in a bolder font. So there, more recently, there have been attempts to make sure people know about it, but I have a feeling in this particular prayer, Rasha, because if you notice, there's these met tags on that are for emphasis, like pa, sha, nu, sa, rar, nu. Very often, if you just emphasize the letter before it, you're probably not going to be pronouncing it, but I can't say that as a general rule. I'm not proposing that as a general rule, but ti, av, nu, ta, inu, probably, anyway, let's not dwell on it, because I'm
I
not
think I
positive.
learned, it's Marilyn speaking. I think
Yeah.
I learned 2 simple rules.
Good,
If it is at the beginning of the word, so
Right.
this is vitir shanu.
yes.
But if it's in the middle, like
And there
here,
are 2 in a row, then yes.
yes, then you don't say, then it's,
Right.
yeah.
Those are the easy, straightforward ones
I
that,
can't believe
but
this.
I'm talking about the ones that
I'm sorry.
that aren't easy like that. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to, I want to go on to something a lot lighter and easier. And I think I'm going to have to stop share, screen share, and I think this is what I want. Okay. So this is something we say, it's also only on Yom Kippur. And it's, and I also have something that I copied out of, let's see. Okay. So this is, this piyut or liturgical poem recited on Yom Kippur provides many different metaphors for the relationship between God and God's people. This prayer points out the ways that the relationship is a two-way street. A king needs subjects, a shepherd needs a flock, and similarly, we serve many different purposes for the divine. So I have the English next to me. If anyone has a mock store and wants to look at it, it is on page 263. Okay, so it's, and does anyone know, does anyone recognize it immediately and want to sing the first line? I'm not seeing the faces right now, so if you want to do that, just say so. No?
I don't know.
Kianu amecha v'ata Eloheinu, anu vanecha v'ata avinu.
So now that you sang it, now I know it. I had to
Right,
hear it. I'm good now.
Okay. No, that's fine. Okay, so I'll read the second line too, and then we'll have someone do it. Okay, so anu avadecha v'ata adonenu, anu kahalecha v'ata chelkenu. So just in case someone doesn't understand, so anu is we are your people and you are our God. We are your children and you are our parent. It's really father, but okay, that they're being egalitarian. Let's see. We are your servants, avadecha, and you are our master, Adon, and we are your congregation. Oh, kahal, we are your congregation. So the cha makes it your, right? Your kahal cha, your congregation. The ata chelkenu, and you are our portion. Chelek is a portion, and nu our. So you are our portion. Okay.
Can I ask a question,
Yeah.
Barbara? It's
Yeah.
Audrey.
Yeah.
Second line,
Mhm.
I've always pronounced that as avadecha, but I see that they have the two lines down and the line across. So is there another pronunciation of that?
You're talking about in the aleph, in the ayin?
On the ayin veit, on the second line.
Avadecha. Let me just look what it has in the mark store. Avadecha.
But
Yeah.
there's the two dots and the line, and isn't that a
That's the
different
same.
pronunciation?
That's the same exact thing as just a line.
Okay,
Two dots.
There-
The two dots don't do a thing.
okay,
As far
all
as
right, thank you.
I mean, in anything I've ever learned, the two dots, if the two dots weren't there, it'd be the exact same thing. Yeah. The same thing
And
here.
one is,
Nachalatecha. Yeah.
what was the one where you pronounced it as o or oi that we went through last week several
Oh,
times?
in here? Oh,
No,
in here, I don't see any. You mean like coal or is that
that's all right. It doesn't
in
matter.
these so far I haven't noticed any. So yeah. So let's not worry about it until we come to one.
Thank you.
Yeah, and again, all the ways that I found of knowing about those things are not, they didn't carry them over into the Machzor that I can see, but maybe we just haven't come to one yet. Okay. So, Marilyn, do you want to read the first two lines? Ki anu amecha. And just so you know, in the actual Machzor, it's Eloheinu. But when things are made for educational purposes or practicing or whatever, many times they'll change that hey to a K. Has that anyone learned that before, seen that before?
Yes, I learned that.
Yeah, okay. Marilyn.
Yeah. Ki anu amecha va'ata Elokeinu anu va'necha v'ata avinu anu avadecha va'ata adonenu anu kahalecha v'ata chelkenu.
Okay, good.
I can't sing it. I have no sense of tune.
Oh, that's fine. So unless somebody has another question about those two lines, I think I'd like to go on because it's pretty, it's pretty easy. Most of us know it just from doing it so many times. But so anu nacha latecha va'ata goralenu. Goralenu, I believe is a redeemer. No, that's not right, apparently. Let's see. That's what I thought it was, but it's not. It's our destiny.
Heritage, is it heritage?
Destiny. You are okay. So Anu, we are your heritage. Nachalatecha. The Ata Goralenu. This says you are our destiny. I always thought that it was I must be confusing with something else. Okay. Anu Sonecha. And here they didn't put the dot in for the O, but in the Machzor I see it. Anu tzonecha, we are your flock, tzon, or sheep. Va'ata ro'enu, and you are our shepherd. And then anu karmecha is we are your vineyard. Va'ata notrenu, you are a guardian. Pi'ulatecha, we are your creatures, Vi'ata yotzreinu, and you are our creator. So I don't know if there's a prayer where we have Yotzer or the creator of light. And okay. So we're up to Anu Nachalatecha. And we're going to ask Roberta. Roberta? Are you reading? Are you still here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, couldn't hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Anu nechal latecha viata goralenu anu. Oh,
So.
Yeah, there's an O that's missing. So necha, yes.
Sonecha viata roenu anu karmecha viata no trenu anu baula techa viata yots renu.
Okay, good. I'm
Barbara,
gonna ask,
can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So I noticed, who was just reading? Who was that was just reading?
Roberta.
Was Roberta. I noticed when Roberta was reading the last word on the first line and you kind of paused for a second because we're like, oh, is it Roenu or Roenu? And you're right. I was curious about that too. So I looked it up and it is Roenu with 2 dots. So you would say Roenu. You had
Right.
a
I'm
good
looking
instinct there.
You're right. In the Machzor, it's definitely A. So I don't know where they got F from here, but yeah, I see that in my book too. So Necha is
Thank you for pointing
correct.
that out. I was confused.
Yeah, that just shows how well you know this without even practicing. But it's interesting because all the others, just looking now, I'm doing a quick check, Nachalecha, Kehalecha, Tzonecha, Karmecha, Pu'ulatecha, Raitecha, Segulatecha Amecha. That is almost the only one that is not, that is A. So, okay. And this is taken from, you can see below here, a lot of these don't even have vowels. My Hebrew teacher, oh no, she did put a lot of them in actually. She usually doesn't put too many in. My Hebrew teacher might have done this herself. I don't know where she took it from. Okay. So where were we at Nachalatecha? So Robin, do you want to read those two lines? Although you seem to know them so well, you were correcting the text, but go ahead.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't Robin? Who was that?
Yeah,
That was
I just,
Tamar.
can you just?
Oh, Tamar, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, the talking box is blocking the second word. But I'll just get it. Okay.
What's a
Anu,
talking box?
uh,
Oh, that's not on my, that's on your screen.
Yeah, okay. It's fine. Anu nachala techa viata goralenu. Anu tsonecha viata roenu. Anu harmecha viata notrenu. Anu fa or pa? Fa'ula techa viata yotzrenu.
Okay, yeah, it's fuh. I stopped because I wanted to look in my book. Okay, good. All right, and now we have Ana Raya Techa Viata Dodenu Anu Segula Techa Viata Elohenu. Okay. So it is Tamar's turn.
Okay. Anu rayatecha ve'ata dodenu. Anu segulatecha ve'ata Elokeinu. Okay, and I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Anu amecha ve'ata malkeinu. Anu ma'amirecha ve'ata ma'amirenu.
Okay, thank you. So let's see, I don't think we translated, or maybe, okay, so we have, we are your spouse and you are our beloved. And I learned the other night that these words come from Shir HaShirim, from the Song of Songs. And this actually, you know, from the, from when you get married. What is it? I need Dodi Lee.
Yeah.
My beloved. Okay. And Anu Segula Techa. So a Segula is a treasure. Here it says, we are your cherished ones. Okay. Ve'ata Eloheinu. And you are near to us. Where's you are near to us? Something missing here?
You are near to
Ana,
us.
this doesn't have Kirovenu. Am I just not seeing Kirovenu here? This is supposed to be Kirovenu. You see this Elokeinu? It's supposed to be Kirovenu. Okay, which is why it means you are near to us. So that's a mistake. Okay.
Which one was the mistake?
It's here after, it's Anu Segula Techa, and it's supposed to say
have-
Viata Kirovenu.
So I don't have that. I have Elokeinu in the other one too. So
In
it does
your
it on the other.
Maxor? In your
No,
Maxor?
just on Wikipedia.
On Wikipedia. So obviously there are two different versions.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying one is wrong or right, but
Yeah.
in my left Shalei Maxor,
It's Malkeinu.
which actually makes
Mhm.
me happy that I recognize that the translation was wrong, and which means that I love when I really feel like I'm learning this language finally after so many years. Okay. Anu amecha vi'ata malkeinu. So we are your people and you are our sovereign. Melech is king. And then Anu ma'amirecha. It means we are the ones that you address. Vi'ata ma'amirenu, and you are the one to whom we speak. In case you never had taken the time to really look at what these words mean. Okay, so that is the end of that prayer. Okay, so I'm gonna stop share. So we actually, I wanted now to do Unatona Tokef, which, as I said, you're not necessarily gonna recognize a lot of it. You might, I mean, some of you know, maybe, you know, quite a bit. But bear with us because there are parts that you will definitely know. And so let me do this again. And so far I've been really lucky. So I'm hoping to stay really lucky. Do that. And I think it's this one. And it's interesting because when I was just looking at a few simple things to tell you about it, the first, so this is how it was presented in a class that I, watched last week. And she broke it up into what she called 6 paragraphs. But this morning, I don't know if it was on Wikipedia or My Jewish Learning, they said it was 4 paragraphs. So, I guess you can look at it in different ways. This is actually said on both Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It comes, there doesn't seem to be a standard place in the service that it appears, because even the woman who was the rabbi who was teaching the class at JTS last week said that she most recently noticed it in the Lev Shalem, as I think it's the 3rd prayer in the repetition of the Amidah. Let's see, Unatana page 143. So it comes over the centuries. It's been placed in different places. Yeah, it's the 3rd bracha, and it comes before the kedusha. So it's, yeah, so it's very close to the beginning of the repetition of the this is in the Musaf Amida. I'm not going to say whether it's I don't think it's in Shacharit Amida, but I'm not going to say it's not. So it's definitely in the Musaf Amida on Rosh Hashanah, and most likely the same place in Yom Kippur. So the very first words, Unatana Tokef Kedushat Hayom, we lend power to this holiness of this day. I don't know about you, but I've always been told that this is, like, if not the central prayer, but one of the most central prayers of the high holidays. And I'm trying to, and you'll, as I said, as we go into it, you'll see parts that and parts of it I know we even read in English, so you might recognize those. Trying to decide how much of it we should read in Hebrew, because the congregation really doesn't say a lot of this, but let's just start with at least the first 3 lines, so that when we get to it, you'll say, oh, that's Unatana Tokef, and the ark is opened. So that's another hint, that we've gotten to it. But it looks like it comes very soon. Yeah, so it's very at the very, very beginning of the repetition of the Amidah. Okay. So Unatana Tokef Kedushat Hayom Ki hu nora ve'ayom uvo tinase malchutecha v'yikon b'chesed kisecha v'teshev alav be'emet. So let's just start really slowly with that. So Arlene, if you want to read.
Sure. Unatana Tokef Kedushot Hayom Ki hu Nora V'ayom Uvo Tinase Malchutecha V'yakom B'chesed Kisecha V'toshev Alav,
Alav.
yeah, Ba'amet.
Okay. Um, let's see, we lend power to the holiness of this day, for it is tremendous and awe-filled. Norah is awe, and on it your kingship will be exalted. Your throne, Kisei's throne, will be established b'chesed in loving kindness, and you will sit, Teshev, on it, on the throne, alav, be'emet, in truth. So we know, we're familiar with a lot of these words, certainly chesed and emet, if not some of the other words. Okay, as I said, I want to get to the parts that we really, that you probably are familiar with, but let's at least read in English. It is true that you are the one who judges and reproves, who knows all and bears witness. So v'yeda and va'ed this is to bear witness, and inscribes and seals. So chotev, chotem, who reckons and enumerates. So fair, umoneh. You remember, so you probably know, well, yizchor, so this root, zichronot, remembrances. You remember all that is forgotten. You open the book of records, and from it all shall be read. In it lies each person's insignia. And with a great shofar, gadol. So this is with a great vitik yitaka v'kol demama, and a thin, silent voice shall be heard. Okay. And the angels shall be alarmed, and dread and fear shall seize them as they proclaim, behold, Yom Hadin, okay, the day of judgment, on which the hosts of heaven shall be judged, for they too shall not be judged blameless by you, and all creatures shall parade before you as a herd of sheep. I'm looking for the words that you might know. As a shepherd herds his flock, directing his sheep to pass under his staff, so do you shall pass, count, and record the souls of all living, and decree a limit to each person's days and inscribe their final judgment. So this is the part that I really have been looking for. So this is Barosh Hashanah Yikatevun Uveyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemun. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, yeah.
Even with my, very
Yes, very
Yes.
familiar.
mediocre
much so.
rendition. Okay. So this is where it goes through all the ways someone might die.
Mhm.
So how many shall pass away and how many shall be born? And we'll read this in Hebrew so that you're familiar with some of the words. Who shall live and who shall die? Who in good time and who by an untimely death? Who by water and who by fire? Who by sword and who by wild beast? And who by famine? Who by thirst? Who by earthquake? Who by plague? Who by strangulation? Who by lapidation? I don't remember what that is. Who shall have rest and who wander, and who shall be at peace and who pursued? Okay, so let's start with Barosh Hashanah Yikatevun Uveyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemun Kama Ya'avrun V'Kama Yibareun Mi Yichya Umi Yamut Mi Vikitso Umi lo vikitso. So let's stop there. So by my, I think Arlene, you read this a third time. So Audrey, do you want to do the Rosh Hashanah? Are you reading? We don't hear you.
Unmute.
Audrey?
She may be on mute. Is she on
I
mute?
don't know. Since I'm not seeing the pictures, I don't even know if she's here.
Oh, you know what? I just realized she messaged. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
messaged
put
she
a
had to leave
message.
early. I just
Okay.
realized.
Okay. All right. So we're not all crazy. Okay, Iris, go ahead.
Rosh Hashanah Yikatevon Ubiyom Tsum Kippur Biyom Sum Kippur
Mhm.
Yechat Mun Kama
Yechatemun.
Yechatemun Kama Ya'avron
So
the
Kama Ya'avrun is how many shall pass?
Kama
Okay.
Yavrun the Kama Yibareun Yibareun
So that's how shall be born. Okay.
Mi Yihye V'mi Yamut
So that's who shall live and who shall
who shall
die.
die. Mi V'kitzo Umi Lo V'kitzo
So mi vikitso is who in good time and who by an untimely death. Okay.
Mi V'mayim Umi V'esh
So we
Mi
know mayim is
water,
water and ish
fire.
is fire. Okay, go ahead.
Mi V'cherev
So cherev is sword.
Umi V'chaya
Th-
Mi V'ra'av Umi Batsama Mi
Let's just do a few more. So bachaya is a wild beast and
Chaya. Oh, yeah.
bara'av is by
Hunger.
famine and sama is thirst. Okay. Okay, let's
Mi
okay.
V'ra'ash Umi V'magefa
Okay,
Mi
let's stop there. So Ra'ash is an earthquake. Ra'ash is like if you know on the Kedusha, Rash Gadol and a loud, loud voice, loud. Okay. And then Magefa here, actually is what COVID, the virus was
Epidemic
called the Magefa. If anyone was following any news from Israel or whatever, they called COVID the Magefa, the virus.
Plague.
So here it's
Is
plague,
a plague.
but it's interesting that they take an old word like plague and apply it to but it did feel like a plague and before they had the vaccine. So okay, now let's let someone else continue. So Marilyn, we're gonna start with after Magifa. So mi vachanika is strangulation. Umi vaskila, lapidation. What is lapidation? It's not ringing a bell with
I don't
me.
know.
Stoning, I think it says in the Maxwell.
Oh, stoning. Okay.
Oh my God.
And who shall have rest? So mi yanuach, right? Who will have rest. Umi yanua. Oh no, and who will wander? Who will be at peace? So sheket is quiet or peace. Yi shaket. Who will be pursued? Umi yito rafe. And who shall be serene? Mi ye shalev. And who tormented? Umi yit yasar. Okay, so if you want to start with me.
Okay, I'll try it. Mi v'chanech v'nachina v'chanincha umi vaskila, mi nuach, umi yanua, mi shakef.
What is this
Me-
last
Oh,
last?
T. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Isha ket. Umi yitorecha. Yitoref. Mi ishal shalev. Umi eat asar. Mi aani.
Wait,
Umi
what is the first letter here?
ya'ani.
Right.
Ya'ani. Is that it?
Yes,
Umi ya'asir.
sheer.
Me-
Yeah, a sheer.
Oh,
Wealthy.
sheer. Yeah, I see the dot. Yeah.
And Ya'ani is impoverished or poor, and Ya'ashir is wealthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me yushpal. Umi yarum.
Okay, let's stop there. So me Yushpal says here debased. If someone has it open and can give us another translation for oh, this says brought low. Okay. Umi Yarum, or who will be raised. Oh, okay. I learned that the other night also. Yarum. Okay. So let's have a second person read those because they're not as familiar. Roberta, if you want to read, let's start with me, Vachanika.
Umi vaskila, mi yanua, umi yanua, mi yishaket, umi yitoref, mi yishalev, umi yasar, mi yaani, umi yaasir, sheer, mi yushpal, and yushpal, umi yarum.
Okay, that's where we stopped. And so this line, I'm fairly sure everyone's going to know. Utashuva, utafila, utsadaka, ma'avirin et roa hagezera, right? But repentance, prayer, and righteousness avert the severity of the decree. Okay. So by my list, Robin, if you want to just read those famous words for us, utshuva.
Utshuva, utfila. Can you scroll up or down for me? That box is blocking the word. Utsadaka, ma'avirin et roa hagezera.
Hagezera. Okay, good. And let me see if there's another part of this there's another part that I like a lot. Oh, I think it's down here. Here it is. This line is very famous. Adam Yesodo me'afar v'sofo la'afar. As I said, I went to a whole class just about this, and then in my Hebrew class the other night, my teacher was focusing on this line. So we come from dust and return to dust. And there are beautiful, beautiful melodies that have been written for this line. I do not know any of them. Does anyone? I should ask. We've got a very educated group here. Does anyone know any way of singing this line, which is apparently has been very, very, no? Okay, okay, so let's keep going. We labor by our lives for bread. We are like broken shards, like dry grass, and like a withered flower, like a passing shadow and a vanishing cloud. like a breeze that passes, like a fleeting dream, like dust. No, did I skip something? Like dust that scatters, like a fleeting dream. I'm looking for the word dream and I'm not seeing it. Oh, chalom, it's right here. Oh, but you are the king who lives eternal. So let's read this because I don't know about you, but this is probably one of my absolute favorite passages. So let's see. We are up to Tamar. If you want to start with Adam Yesodo.
Adam Yesodo me'afar v'sofo le'afar benafsho yavi lachmo mashul kecheres hanishbar kechatzir yavesh uchsitz novel ketzal over anan kala ruach noshavet avak oreach vecha chalom yauf. That's all I'm reading, right? Yauf, or should I keep going? Ve'ata hu melech el chai vekayam. That was easy.
Okay, so we'll have someone else read, but I just want to point out one thing to you. This ka, or sometimes it's cha, depending on what letter it comes after. If it comes after it looks like if it comes after a vav, whether it's u or v, it's cha. But if it's starting the sentence, it's ka. I like to look for rules and they're immediately broken, but that means as or like. So if you're trying to find the meaning of any of the words, you have to go past that ka or cha. That's just a clue. If like this, like sail is a shadow. So but you have to know that the ka just means as or like, so that you take that out. Or anan is a cloud, or ruach is a breeze. Are you following me? Do you see what I'm trying to show you? Or chalom is dream, but if you're looking at v'chal chalom, you're not going to know how to, right? So you have to know a little tiny bit when you're looking over to the other side to see what any individual word might mean. Okay, so let us ask Arlene to read Adam.
Okay. Adam Yesudo Ma'afer Visofo La'afar.
So sof means at end. So at his end, or we come from dust and return to dust. But this isn't really an accurate translation, as you know, as so many of these things are, because you could see it's Adam, man. So I'm not sure why they made it plural, but anyhow, let's not worry about that. I'm just wanting to see what they have in the Machzor. It says each person's origin is dust, and each person will return to the earth at having spent life seeking sustenance. Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just was trying to figure out where they came up with which is not here. Okay, go ahead.
Binafasho uvi.
Yavi. Don't forget the yud.
Yavi. Lachamo.
Lachmo. So do you know the word bread? Lechem?
Yes.
You see? So lachmo is his bread.
Lachmo. Mashul. Keheres.
Kecheres, yeah, right. Kecheres.
Okay, good. Hanishavar.
Hanish bar, that's broken. I'm just trying to match up whatever I can. Nish bar is broken.
Yes, yes. Kehazer, Yavesh, Uchazetz, Uchazetz,
Uchzitz.
Uchzitz, Goval,
But what's the first letter here?
Noval,
Novel, Novel,
Novel, Novel, Kazal, Oreve,
Sale. It's the two dots are A.
okay.
Sale,
Kazal, Over, Uve, Anu,
this is a kuf,
Uch, Anun,
nan,
Anan,
it's cloud,
Kala, Uvirum,
wait, ruach,
Ruach, yeah, Nosefet,
no vash, no
Oh.
shavet, no
no
shav,
Shavet, okay, no Shavet. Uveach vek,
wait, where are you getting v from? Uch,
okay, uch, yeah, uchavet,
avak, uch,
hava, ay, porea, porech,
pareach, yeah, you were at the first time, pareach,
okay. V'chachalom, ya'uf,
good, and just the last line,
oh, okay, v'ata hu melech al chaim chai v'kayom.
good.
Hmm.
Okay, so I hope, before we stop, does anyone have any questions about this part? Pronunciation of this part?
I'm a
I,
little bit, I'm thinking about the chaf that you were talking about.
Yeah.
That's similar to like kamo or kasher,
right,
right? And I
right,
was trying to remember, because my dad is Israeli, and when he would talk, even though I agree with you that when it's a shva, we wouldn't pronounce it with a vowel sound. I'm trying to think of when we would make the sound, like
mhm,
where it said, like where it says uchanan. That's how I would read it because it looks silent to
Right,
me.
right,
But I wonder if he wouldn't say
Right.
uchanan, like because the
Right.
ch is like in place of kamo,
right.
right?
And I wonder if you asked 5 different Israelis,
Right.
if they do it different. So as I said, I'm just not knowledgeable enough to give you, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
know.
Like,
I was stuck on that. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if you had
yeah,
any more
and
info
So
on
it-
that.
for most of these, I would not pronounce
Me,
it, but
yeah, same.
Okay.
there probably, I would bet there are 2 or 3 in here that we do, but I
Yeah.
just, I mean, the people who absolutely know are the Chazanim, right? Because they
Right.
are singing this and it's in the music. And I imagine if you get a copy of their, text or whatever they're reading from, it's very clear. But
If I catch it at services, I'll let you know.
right. And
Well,
it could, yeah.
That's
Excuse me,
my
I just-
question. When I see that it here, is it pronounced or is it pronounced here? And that's what I get confused by.
Is it pronounced or pronounced here? What did you mean by
So,
that?
By that, I mean, when it has the dot in front of it, is it pronounced? And when it doesn't have the dot, it is pronounced? Or,
I'm not sure that we're talking about the same thing.
okay, like
What are
when,
what are you asking about?
Usefer, and the first line,
You're talking about this, like
yes,
visopho?
that letter, yes, yes.
Here, we absolutely pronounce it because as, I forget who it was who told us, if it's the first letter of a word,
Yes,
you have to, there's no other word to say that letter. So then
okay,
it's definitely visopho. If it's following an u, that's
Oh.
when it's more, is it uchetzich or
okay,
uchtzitz?
okay,
Right?
so,
Or ucheruach or uchruach. So I think for the most part, we're not pronouncing it in these words, but I if so, I'm not going to tell you for sure because I don't know for
yeah,
sure.
well, that's what confuses me. I
Right.
mean, like,
Yeah,
so through-
absolutely.
and so I'm very halting because I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced or
Right.
not.
No, absolutely. Here's another one, like Binaf show. I don't think it's Binaf fish show,
No, it's
but,
not.
but, but we were not, I speak for myself. I was never taught this or made aware of it, right? Wasn't until I started leading services and really reading Torah that I even became, super conscious of it. But I'm one of, I don't know, 50 Torah readers in my synagogue, and maybe 3 of us even pay attention to that. And, most people are completely oblivious to it as an issue in life. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, no,
But I have become completely hung up on it, and I will
Yeah.
only practice out of this very thick art scroll tikkun that tells me every single time it's supposed to be pronounced. And
That's cool.
but many people could care not that they could care less, but they're just ignorant, oblivious. But so I don't want to put my obsession on you.
And to make matters worse, like almost every Hebrew rule has an exception.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
even if we had a rule, like there would be exceptions.
Right. But I have, over the course of the 2 years I've been teaching this class, I have researched this, and I have a couple of articles that I'm happy to send you. You can read them for yourself and see just how complicated it is. And yeah, every time they give you a rule, but if it comes after blah, 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 so yeah, but it's something to be aware of, but don't let it hang you up. Don't let it prevent you from reading, whether this is
Okay.
lachimo or lachmo. I'm sure it's lachmo, just say it. One of these articles I'll send you, they just end up saying whatever it's easier for your tongue to say, whatever your mouth finds, the easiest way of saying it. Use that as your rule. So, okay. All right, I'm going to stop the share, and thank you all. I hope that you found that helpful. If you want to review, since we haven't even gotten to Rosh Hashanah yet, we have a whole class next week before Yom Kippur. So if you want to review what we just did, or you want to go on to something new, I want to do Al Chet, because that, as you know, is people, the leader will say it and everybody repeats it, but pretty quickly. So if you want to get some practice with that, so that you can, I don't want to say impress the people.
I say the
That's not why
first
we're here,
way, I say I'll hate, and then just let my eyes glance over it and I don't say them, but
let's practice it next time so that maybe we can keep up, or at least keep up with some of it, or so do let me know if you want to go over Ashamnu or Unatona Tokef. We can, or we can use the time to practice Al Chet. And also maybe something fun, again, like trying to think what it is. What is that? I can't, it's not coming to me now, but we do it at the very end. Oh, hayom, 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 hayom. And then the sentences keep getting longer and longer. And again, you can probably keep up until the middle, and then they get very long and you can't fit in the words with the melody. So I thought maybe we'd practice that, just, to do it a little bit better. But so that's for next week. Al Chet and whatever it was I just said, hayom. So
Thank you for the practice. It was really great.
yeah, I hope
thank
I hope
you.
this is good. And after the holidays, we will go back to the Siddur and do some of the more traditional things that I know people want to practice as well. But and for anyone who is not here when I might have said it, if you have a special request, just tell me, because we're not limited to any particular list of prayers, or if we want to do something out of the ordinary, or we can even start reading Torah or Haftorah, or we can do whatever we want in this class. So I want to know what you want to do, though. So all right, so Shana Tova.
Ag Sameach.
Thank you.